Good morning, all. In the laser physics, we discuss helium neon laser. Helium neon laser is a gas laser. In gas laser, the atoms are characterized by a sharp energy levels compared with that in solids. And the pumping given in gas lasers are electric discharge. Helium neon laser was the first gas laser to be operated successfully. It is a 4-level laser and the population inversion is achieved by electric discharge. Now we can discuss about the construction of the helium neon laser. The figure given is the structure of helium neon laser. It consists of a tube that is approximately 5 millimeter in diameter and 0.5 meter long. It contains helium neon mixture in a ratio 10:1 at a total pressure of about 1 mm of mercury. The end of the tube are plain and parallel. One end of the tube is heavily silvered and the other end is partially silvered. An electric discharge is produced in the gas mixture by electrodes connected a high frequency electric source. In the helium neon laser, we use mainly the collision pumping, that is by electric discharge. Now we look at the energy diagram of helium neon laser. Look at the figure. In the figure, here, the energy levels of both neon and helium are given. The energy level diagram in the left side is of helium and the right side is for neon. The metastable states of helium is at 20.61 electron volt and that of neon at 20.66 electron volt. And corresponding to the two levels of helium, in neon there is 4 levels. In the helium neon laser, the lasing action is occurring at the neon energy levels. So it is a 4 level laser. Now the working of helium neon laser. The collision of helium and neon atoms with the electron from the discharge excite the helium and neon atoms to metastable states. We have mentioned that the metastable state of helium is at 20.61 electron volt and that of neon at 20.66 electron volt. Now, some of the excited helium atom transfer their energy to the ground state neon atom by collision with 0.05 electron volt additional energy being provided by the kinetic energy of atoms. The advantage of this collision process is that the later helium atom can easily be pumped to the excited state and much heavier neon atom could not be raised efficiently without them. Okay, it means the excitation of helium atom to the metastable state is very easy, but the excitation of neon atom is very risky. So the helium atoms helping to excite neon atom, it is achieved by colliding excited helium atom with ground state neon, and it also gets some additional kinetic energy of 0.05 electron volt. Then it reaches at 20.66 electron volt. That is, we know that the metastable state of helium is 20.61. So a helium atom, excited helium atom has an energy of 20.61. When it is moving, it must have additional energy. Then a moving excited helium hit with ground state neon. Then the helium gives off its excitation energy 20.61 plus some kinetic energy, okay, about 0.05 eV. So the total energy for neon atom must be 20.66 electron. This is the excitation. This is the metastable state of, it is the metastable state of neon. So the helium atom collides with neon at ground state neon atom and excite it. Okay. Thus, helium atom help in achieving population inversion in the neon atoms. When neon atoms passes spontaneously from the metastable state 20.66 electron volt to a state of 18.70 electron volt, it emits a photon of 632.8 nanometer wavelength. Okay, this spontaneously emitted photon passes through the tube back and forth, and it hits on another excited neon, or it stimulate another excited neon to emit further photon, or stimulated emission occurs. Okay. So stimulated emission occurs. The stimulated emission gives two photons of coherent with the spontaneously emitted photon, that is with 632.8 nanometer wavelength. This stimulated transition from 20.66 electron volt to the 18.70 electron volt is the laser transition. So the laser transition is occurring between 4 and 3 levels of neon, and then the de-excited neon, or the neon reached at the level 18.70, further by a spontaneous emission it downs to another level with a incoherent light, and then it finally go to the ground state by a non-radiative transition. It is achieved by collision with the tube of walls. The final transition is thus radiationless. Obviously, the neon atom in the ground state cannot absorb the wavelength 632.8 nanometer photon from the laser beam, has happened in the 3-level ruby laser. Also, because the electron impact the excite helium and neon atom occur all times, a continuous laser is obtained in the case of helium neon laser. But in the case of ruby laser, we obtain a pulsed one, because of the xenon flash lamp flashes, we get a pulsed excitation. Further, since the laser transition does not terminate at the ground state, the power needed for excitation is less than that in a 3-level laser. Now I explain the working with the help of an animation. Okay, this is the energy level diagram, and look at here. This is similar to the above diagram, and this is the tube, and it is filled with helium neon mixture in a ratio 10:1, and electrodes are given in the tube, and at one of the end it is a perfectly reflective mirror, and in other end it is a partially reflecting mirror. Okay, this is the fully reflecting and this is partially reflecting mirror. Okay, when we giving the power supply is on, helium is excited with the help of impacting with electrons. We know that when there is an electric discharge, electron must pass within the tube, or electron must pass from one electrode to another electrode, then it will impact with helium and neon filled in the tube. So the helium atom excites, and more helium atom must be excited, and the number of neon atom excited must be very less. And when this helium and when this helium is moving, it is randomly moving in the tube, it may collide with unexcited neon atom. Okay, then some neon atom in the ground state must be excited, and some additional energy will be given in the form of kinetic energy. Then the excited neon atom the number of excited neon atom increases. Okay. So we get the population inversion. If the number of, we know that in the lower state means the level with 18.70 electron volt. There is no atoms there. So if more atoms reach at 20.66, the population inversion achieved. It is a metastable state. So a spontaneous emission occurs to the level 18.70. Its wavelength is 632.8 nanometer or 6328 angstrom. Okay, then the spontaneously emitted photon passes through back and forth between the two. Okay, then it may hit with an excited neon. Okay, so the excited neon stimulates to emit photons. Then stimulated emission occurs, that is also with a photon of wavelength 6328 angstrom, or it is a coherent light is produced, and this process is continuously increases, and if the intensity of the beam is very large, then some of it passes through the partially silvered mirror. Then we will get laser radiation. So the laser radiation is getting between the transfer between 20.66 and 18.70. And from that level, spontaneous emission may occur. It is incoherent light, and further from that level, the neon atom goes to its down state by non-radiative transition by colliding with the walls of the glass tube. It is a radiationless transition. In this case, the main advantage is that the spontaneously emitted light or the stimulated emitted photon, it is cannot be absorbed by the neon atom in the ground state. This is the working of helium neon laser. In the next class, we will discuss the other type of lasers. Thank you.